Hello to the world and welcome to the great country of Persia. My name is Dairuka and I will be your host for today as we attempt to take the ultimately starving, helpless state of Persia during one of its greatest times of struggles during the final days of the Qajar dynasty, and hopefully we will bring it to a new age of enlightenment that would defy even the greatness of Xerxes and Darius. As many of you already know, Persia starts off with virtually nothing. It's beset from all sides with foes who want to pick its carcass clean after the Russians just got finished butchering it in the Russo-Persian War. The people are starving. The people are illiterate. The people are clamoring for hope, a light in one of the darkest times of Persia's history. That is where we will come in, and believe me, I have a secret that will hopefully help us propel Persia into yet another golden age. Will we succeed in our ventures to push Persia to the pinnacles of greatness, or will we be the worst thing to happen to the kings and princes of Persia since the movie? Stay glued to that seat, grab a nice hot cup of chai tea, and hit that subscribe button. Seriously, hit that subscribe button or I'll make you pay worse than Prince of Persia did under Disney's cold, authoritarian mouse hand. Gentlemen, welcome to Persia. It is a beautiful land, a gigantic land, a gorgeous land, a volatile land. And believe me when I say this, this land can break souls. And part of the reason why I say it breaks souls is because I'm about to show you a very, very RNG and dirty little secret. By exiling dissidents, you actually have a chance at the very beginning of the game to get yourself a liberal movement exile that you can invite immediately. And believe me when I say this, it's actually very much worth it to do so, because what we're following through on next doubles up on this and makes what we're about to do that much easier. There's just one tiny problem, and there's a reason why I did not include this in my actual guide, is because this is soul crushing. The amount of RNG involved actually makes me think I'm playing Poland back in EU4. The amount of RNG involved makes me think I'm playing Byzantine back in EU4. It is the amount of restarts that I've had to do has actually broken me to the point where I think my voice is starting to crack. I might be losing my mind, but you don't need to know how many times it's happened. You don't need to know. Just telling you ahead of time, save scumming won't help you. The only thing that works is restarting, and it is painful. The only reason I'm doing this is because it makes for good content. It gives you a little hint for your own playthroughs if you're the type of person who's absolutely crazy and wants to metagame to the point where they'll actually be willing to do something this bloody crazy. And it is crazy. I don't care what anybody says. I feel crazy right now. But thankfully, I finally got exactly what I needed. I did not get stuck with an authoritarian here. They're not angry enough that I can't put them into government. And by the way, I'm going to put them into government, despite the fact that I just, effectively kicked them in the crown jewels. Why? So I can get landed voting. Yay! Not to mention, we're going to start up our corn laws now. We're actually going to follow the guide that I've actually created myself. And the reason why we're going to do that is because we want that market liberal. We want to double up on liberal so that they're over 12% immediately. And not to mention, if we fail landed voting, which is a big possibility, it's a huge possibility, in fact, that if it happens, we can either switch off to wealth voting, or we can switch off to just getting homesteading right away. Because if we have our market liberal and we can make him a leader after 12%, I mean, we don't really have to wait for landed voting or wealth voting, do we? We can literally just sit on autocracy the entire game at that point. Considering the amount of times that landed voting and wealth voting have killed my runs, to me, it sounds like a good thing. I'm not even kidding. I feel a little crazy as a result. Now, you probably just saw me put up government administration to filing cabinet so I can get my bureaucracy to 223. I'm going to do a quick little pause on pause, and the reason why is so it brings up the paper here so I can now import 52 paper from Russia. By importing 52 paper from Russia, we no longer have a massive shortage, thankfully. This also gives us a very healthy amount of bureaucracy, which we are going to be using later. I figure I might as well fix my textile mills in Iraqi Ajami, and the reason why is because we are already suffering here. Our standard of living is so painfully low that we pretty much have to min-max. I'm just going to say min-max because it's easier for me to say, and I won't fumble it quite as much. We have to min-max as much as possible to make it effectively useful for us. Now, pretty much now that we have land and voting started, we're going to bring up our technology. I know a lot of people say go for line infantry first, or go for railway first, or even go for stock exchange first. I think that's wrong. I think you should go for empiricism first, and there's a reason why. Look at that lovely, lovely 7.8 literacy that we're looking at. It is painful. It's very, very bad, and even decrees aren't going to be enough to really help out. What we want to help mitigate this factor is that +5 wealth education access that we get from academia. That is better than it sounds. Even though it's only 3% initially, it can actually be boosted all the way up to 5% from our standard to living once we get to about 10 standard of living, which is where you probably should be as Persia by about 1846. But that's not all. We also get another +5 wealth education access from empiricism. Thank you to Erknell for pointing that out to me. I have changed the way that I play simply because of that information. This is really good. That's a whole 1% more than you would get otherwise on literacy. By the time that you get to 1846, you'll be at about 19% literacy around that point. It's good. It's really good. It's way better than stock exchange for Persia because guess what? Mappy is kind of bad for Persia. You don't have the qualifications to take advantage of it. Same with railways. You're still not going to have the qualifications for it by the time you get railways. You can put it off a little bit. I typically do, specifically for the fact that we just do not have the qualifications. Same with line infantry. A lot of people think that line infantry is probably the first thing you should go for, but I don't think you should be fighting against Russia or the Ottomans this early into the game. You should be playing nice with them, which is what I'm going to be doing right now. For the people that you do want to play very dirty with, I'm thinking everybody except for the True Shield states. And the reason why I say don't mess around with the True Shield states is because if you manage to get an obligation on them, or if you manage to conquer Omani True Shield state and Bahrain's True Shield state, you will find yourself in a position where you can actually trade states with True Shield states for the Fars and Hormuz treaty ports, which is way better than it sounds because it saves you a war with Britain very early in the game. I've actually managed to get these states myself sometime around 1870, and that was a beautiful, beautiful thing. It put me in a good mood. I haven't done it since, but it's the same patch, so you can still do it. I know it's possible. Next up, we're going to be going to our government wages, and do not touch government taxation. If you raise it even a tiny, tiny bit, you're going to go over the minimum expected that you're actually capable of handling. Your lower strat is going to struggle. Your radicals are going to exponentially rise. Even if you're on the easiest mode, you're going to get your absolute butt handed to you with revolutions early on. It's not a good thing. You will not enjoy life. Instead, what you can do is put a consumption tax down on opium. That'll give you a nice 2.3k. Not quite as much as you'll get from very high taxes, but I mean, you gotta make sacrifices in this game. Temporarily, we're going to raise our very high government wages so we can get an extra decree out. We're going to always keep our military wages up because this is a war-heavy playthrough. We're always going to be at war effectively. Now I'm going to put up my decrees. I'm thinking social mobility effectively everywhere that is possible to. I like to put it in the port cities specifically for the purpose of getting sailors very soon. Unfortunately, I don't think I have yeah, I do have it, but I do not have enough for one more decree. We're going to lower our government wages, though, just to save a little bit of cash. It's always a good idea. Now we're going to put in our construction. I'm thinking, boom, spreading it around. A lot of people don't spread it around, and I honestly do think that is a very big mistake when you are playing as Persia. As I've mentioned many, many times before, you do not have qualifications. They do not exist in Persia. You're going to have a very bad time if you put everything into a single state. They will not hire. You will be suffering. You will not be able to get your construction up, and you're not going to get any mappy done. You're just going to have a really bad game. You're going to be very, very cranky. Don't do it. Same with building farms. Don't do it. You're going to empower the landowners on a playthrough where the landowners start off with 50% power. Why would you do that? Believe it or not, I know the people are starving, but there are ways to mitigate that as Persia without building farms. I will show you that very shortly. Just trust me on this one. Instead, what we're going to do is we're going to put down our declared interest on Bombay, because we are going to be attacking Macron effectively immediately once that declaration is done and dealt with. Before we get to that point, though, I do want to set up our armies. I am the type of person who likes to have a very powerful defensive army. That's why I like to put all of the line infantry into my defensive army. I'm going to effectively make the first army my defensive army. We're going to move all of the hussars over to the attack army. And I'm thinking for the defensive army, we're going to go 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. No, that's not. One more. Boom. Of course, we're doing that for the sake of having 30 and 15. Our first army is our defensive army, so if we get a chance and getting a defensive specialist, get it. Just, it hurts our offense, though. That might not be the best for us. I'll think about it. This guy's not too shabby. I might pick him up for the main army. For the secondary army, I guess we'll just leave it as is. There's no point in wasting bureaucracy at this point. Now that we're dealt with that, we're going to deal with our supplements and mobilization because we want all the morale recovery. It gives us such an advantage when we're fighting against other countries that can effectively just lose based off of their morale alone. It's actually very surprising how fast that can happen in certain situations. Now that we're done with that, we are going to move on to Corn Laws, which is, I believe, January 5th. Boom. Corn Laws, beautiful. Now we can swap out Corn Law, well, what we enacted to enact Corn Laws, so our people don't starve, and starving people don't revolt. You'll notice right now we went from 50% all the way down to 13%, but that's still not enough. I think what we're going to do is we're going to import all of the grain. It doesn't matter if the productivity is bad. It doesn't matter. Take it. Take all the grain that you can. It doesn't matter if you're going to kill the trade route later, specifically by going to war with Kalat, for instance. Why? Because look at that. We got no issues with grain right now. If I were to bring up a grain farm and show you, case it to you, we're almost to 0%. We went from plus 12, plus 13% to plus 5. That's huge. And it gets even better because once you start tributizing all of these places, they grow the grain for you. It's kind of like epic rap battles for Rome. You can grow my wheat for me after you're beaten. It's perfect. It's the best way to go through it. It's way better than conquering these places and then having to grow your own damn grain. It is. It's just better. Trust me when I say this. So what I'm going to do at this point now is we're going to wait until February 1st so we can get our declaration done. We need Bombay. Bombay is a necessity. I can't speak tonight, but that's okay. Now, we're going to, transfer subject. You're not going to be interrupted. Don't you worry about that. There is a possibility that they give up right away. I don't like that personally. If I get the chance, I want the 2-for-1 special. So please, Kalat, please fight me. Why? Come on. You got to be like that. You got to vassalize immediately. That's okay because we get the vassal without a fight. We don't lose any troops because we're going to need all the troops we can get our hands on. We're now going to immediately attack Herat the moment the Macron is ours. And the reason why is because we're not wasting any time. We want to take advantage of every second that we get when we're playing as Persia. We're not waiting. Waiting is for suckers. Okay, now let us mobilize at the halfway point. Once we mobilize at the halfway point, oh, they gave up. Wow, everybody's giving up today. I wasn't expecting this. They never give up in my other playthroughs, but this time around they are just cowards, and that's okay, because again, we save on troops, and now we can immediately attack Kabul. The reason why we want to attack Kabul is because if we don't attack Kabul early, they will conquer either big chunks of Kandahar or big chunks of Herat. We don't want either of that. We kind of want everybody to be effectively on parity so they don't conquer each other. Effectively, we want as many vassals as we can get our hands on. Best way to do that, of course, is to pick a fight with them as soon as possible before they can get their tensions out of the way. The only one that you can effectively ignore when it comes to conquering is probably going to be Kandahar. They usually lose most of their wars against Herat and Kabul. It's kind of funny when it happens. If you actually do attack Herat and you end up in a war with them, you can also safely ignore them after the fact because their manpower is going to be so low they'll lose a war with my mana, and that's hilarious too. Effectively, we're going to just wait until the war starts. We got our troops mobilized, and it looks like we are going to war with Kabul. Now, you're probably thinking I'm crazy. We have no fronts. That's okay. Go to Overlord Options, click Enforce Military Access, and look at that. Magically, a front appears, and not only that, we're being helped by Herat. Herat is now on our side in the war. They have no choice but to join in. They're going to do a little bit of defensive work for us while we get our troops in there. It is perfect. Hey, I can do it now. Boom. That's how it's done. Boom. Even better. Boom. Homesteading. Right off the box. 1840. And that's going to run through real quick. It's got to run. If I fail on this one, I'm going to be really upset with RNGs, man. I'm going to be really, really, really upset. Oh, man, look at this. Look at the loyalists we got already this early into the game. Look, our standard of living's going up. We're getting 3.5% from academia now instead of just 3%. It's a beautiful start. This has not been the ideal start, though, I'm telling you. This is not the golden run. I actually had a golden run going earlier, and I forgot to record it, and I'm very upset at myself. But thankfully, I'm recording this one. Yes, I am. Okay, good. And because I'm recording this one, you guys all get to see me suffer quite majestically. In fact, I need a lovely little government administration. Where can I build it without running into hiring issues? Probably, nope, not here. I guess it's going to be Tabriz. I got to get it somewhere. Yeah, we're going to put it in Tabriz. Sorry, but I need bureaucracy because we are getting hurt on our taxes. And it's already looking pretty sad as we speak. But we're going to get there. We're going to start it. We're going to get it going. Whew, especially with homesteading at 1840, we are doing a decent run. It's not a golden run, mind you, but a decent run. A golden run would be like landed voting by 2 years into the game. That takes a lot of luck, especially with the RNG involved of getting the liberal Exile off of the first run. But thankfully we got it. It wasn't our first run. You don't need to know how many runs it was. I'm not telling you. I'm not telling you. It's my little secret. Because you don't need to know. You don't want to know. You'd be very depressed if you knew. You would be very upset at me for telling you about it. Especially since you're probably going to want to try it yourself now. And you're going to hate me for even bringing it up. Because it's that horrible. Don't do it. You can't even save scum it. You will just suffer and you will hate me for it. Don't do it. I'm just telling you, don't do it. Just don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it.
5 minutes later.
I'm enjoying life right now. I'm not lying. I'm enjoying life. Let's go laissez-faire because Persia's mappy is terrible, and you want to get those capitalists up and powerful as fast as possible. I know it's counterintuitive. Most people would go interventionism in the first beginning. You're not going to be able to afford doing all of the building yourself, and you're going to effectively be growing your construction sector based off of the investment pool that the capitalists have, not the other way around. And it's unusual. It's weird. It feels wrong. It's just the way that I found that it works best. Now, we're going to be conquering Gaza. 15.5, yeah, we will be under 25. That's good for us. Did I make friends with Kandahar? I did not. I probably should be going for Kalat very shortly, and we will after dealing with Gaza.
And then I've made a huge mistake.
Okay. There's not much else I can do at the moment. Maybe invade Kalat. Maybe invade Sind. I think I'd rather go for Sind, because it's better to take them on early so they don't get conquered by Britain, because if Britain takes them, you're never going to get your hands on them. So we're going for Sind, just because I happen to remember them, and they are an easy picking target. I like easy targets. Makes my life better, makes their lives worse. That's okay for me, because I'm not them. I don't care. Whatever. Tough. We're Imperial. You got a problem with that? Don't care. When you're Imperial, you just don't care. That's what being Imperial means. You don't care. You get to be a vassal. You get vassalized. You get vassalized. Do I want Galeti first? Yeah, we'll take Galeti first. Then we'll take Herat. Congo can go next. Maybe Zulu. We'll see about it. That is good, because that gave us another $3,000 to play with. Kabul especially was a nice little boost. That's kind of why I wanted to wait for them. It doubled almost doubled. Well, 33% it did. 1/3 it. I don't know how to say that, but that's okay. It was enough. That's all I care about. It was enough. Enough is enough is enough is enough. And I got a little bit of slowdown, because there's too much going on the screen. I might have to cut that later. Ding, ding. Just saying. We're looking at 80 now. Diplomats expelled. France is picking a fight with us. Why? Why? But why? I thought we were buddies, France. I thought we were like ultra buddies, and now Britain's getting involved, and ouch. I might back down. What am I going to lose? I get humiliated. No, they conquer Arabistan. That is actually a bad deal for me. Who can I bring? I can't bring anybody in, so I'm going to have to win this war by myself. I probably could win this war by myself. And the reason why is, well, do they have the ships there yet? No, they don't. Although, damn it, they're attacking right away. So, yeah, I think we're barely going to be able to squeeze a win out of it. No, never mind. We're going to have to go defensive now. Or not. We might be able to squeeze a win here. Although, they are going to be navally invading us very shortly. So, we're going to have to make this a very quick win. I hope it's a very quick win. Best way to do that is to navally invade, and that's what we're gonna... No, it's too late. We cannot navally invade. Oh, they only got 4 ships there, because they're busy over here navally invading us. So it's gonna be a race against the clock here. I am very curious to see who's going to win this clock run. They might be taking Arabistan anyways, but we'll get Sind in return. We can always attack Britain later to get it back. The devastation is definitely going to hurt, but I guess in the long run it's going to be okay for us. I probably could have brought in my allies against Britain if I paid attention, but I'm not going to cry over it. It's not that big of a loss. Well, Sin belongs to me now. As for Britain, they're kicking my ass. I'm not even going to try to stop them because I can't. They got too many troops. As for Sin, yeah, they lose. They're mine now. It wasn't worth it. It really wasn't worth it. But, you know what? Take Arabistan. Get out. Go away. I'm coming for you later, though. You're definitely going to be going to war with Britain now. Whew, that hurt me quite a bit. But I got Sind. Didn't cost me that much. Just Arabistan and a bunch of convoys. Guess it was a bit of a mistake. Like I said, if I would have brought in my allies, I might have actually had a shot. But sometimes I forget to do that. And like I said, I don't reload. Now you know for a fact I don't reload, because I am definitely putting this into the video, and you're going to see me fail from beginning to end, but that's okay because it's a failure that we can correct later. It's just in the meantime, our convoys are suffering immensely. I think I'm going to actually start building some shipyards to offset the convoys. Or some ports anyways. Yeah, a couple ports. Get some of our convoys back so not everybody starves on me. Let's start making friends again, because they're probably thinking about revolting after I just got my ass handed to me and humiliated, mind you. The humiliation, thankfully, is not enough of humiliation to prevent me from getting my block to stick around. If I did think that it was through, I probably would have fought all the way through and tried to force a truce. That would have cost me immensely, though, and I would have lost pretty much every single troop I have. And since I don't have migration controls, since I don't have any mass migrations coming in, I won't really be able to replace those people. So, not to mention the amount of devastation I would get in all of these areas here just playing for a stalemate. I mean, Arabistan just isn't worth it. It just isn't. I can take it later. I can always take it later. Now, you're gonna make a play? No. No, I don't care who you got fighting. You got Kabul, you got Galeti. No, I got Galeti. You got Great Qing. Well, unfortunately for you, I'm paying attention this time. And I'm going to win this war. And Great Qing is going to lose quite a bit. I'm going to take a chunk out of you. Yeah, it's a big mistake. This was not smart. This is a payback for me messing up earlier, because this is going to really, really benefit me. This is a huge benefit for me. It doesn't look like it now, but believe it or not, this is very, very good for me. The reason why is because we're going to be pulling in the Russians. Oh. What's going on here? No, I'm not giving you an obligation. I'm calling the Russians for free. You want to join in for free? Yeah? Come on down! Now, guess what, Qing? I don't care about them. I care about you. And we're going to declare some interests on you. Raid in North China. Should I take some South China for some rice? Yes, I am. I want rice. Give me... You know what? We'll check what we can get from Manchuria, too. Maybe they got some gold. Yeah, you're absolutely hosed. Absolutely hosed. They're saying they're cocky because they got so much from Qing, but I'm willing to bet that Qing does not have a very powerful army at all. They usually don't, even by this point. Maybe they got line infantry if they're lucky, but yeah, they do have line infantry, but even then, we have so many Russians on our side that I don't think Qing can win this one. They're probably going to lose. I would not bet on Qing. And I can start pumping up my army to get even stronger in the meantime, because obviously I don't want Qing to get any upper hands. I want to guarantee that they get their asses handed to them. I just need to wait for my... Come on, interests. Come on, interests. Thank you. I get 2 of them. I'll wait. There we go. Manchuria as well. Now, who should I take? I'm thinking I want Beijing. Beijing. That's an expensive one. Oof. Do I want to take even more? Oof, I don't think I should. That might hurt. That might hurt a lot. It might pull Britain in, and that would really ruin me. And if that's the case, that might be a run killer. How about we liberate Joseon? And that should weaken him enough. I probably should have made a liberate country play, but that's okay, because Qing just really isn't that strong anyway. Okay, I guess I can probably start pumping up my conscription. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, that should be enough conscription. 5. Oh, okay. That's 5 out of 8. So I guess I should probably bring up this one. Okay, we're going to do a little bit of conscription here. Normally I wouldn't, but I want to guarantee the win here. The Persian fleet here is going to be a complete nuisance to them. Actually, they have more ships. I guess it won't be a nuisance to them. But it will be, because we can pump up the jam. They will not be able to stop us once we do. So that's exactly what we're going to do, is we're going to build up our fleet immediately. You 100% need to be promoted. Or should I get another leader? Anybody here worthwhile? You might be very worthwhile, actually. In fact, you are worthwhile. We're going to bring you in, and we're going to move your ass out of here. Are you on the front together? Yes, you are. So, like I said, you are out of here. You can go to the... yeah, you can go to the Immortals. My attack fleet could probably use you anyways. As for you, I don't care if I'm boosting the Shias. I like that. Now, we're definitely going to win on this front. I don't think Qing can reach this front yet. I'm willing to bet that Russia is going to be getting their asses kicked until they pull their entire army in. I don't think they're stupid enough to lose everything, at least not in the early run. Hopefully not in the early run. That would be really sad. Now, do we have any openings? It's looking like Manchuria is an opening. I will not be able to hit Manchuria yet, especially since you got the massive fleets here, but we could try to make a play. I don't think it would be too bad, especially if we go to raid convoy instead of intercept. Then they might avoid us. This is quite the war. This is a world war at this point. But that's okay, because the longer it goes on, the more powerful we will get. We're going to keep pumping up our army. We're going to keep pumping up our navy. And eventually we will get so scary powerful that they will not be able to resist what we want from them. It will happen. You just got to be patient. Just need a little bit of patience. And as we go along, we're going to be able to force these tributaries into surrendering, which is always a good thing. That is probably what I should be doing with my Persian fleet right now, is bringing it up on Macron. We're going to do that as we speak, and we're going to smack them in the face. And they got no choice but to accept it, because, yeah, that's all they got. Now, Russia is getting its ass handed to them. Unfortunately, that's because they're not being very smart, and they're sending way too many troops to my front, which is already effectively won. I don't need them. Okay, do we have any other openings? Not particularly, and it looks like Russia is dropping troops in, so I'm going to do the same. We're going to move them up, open up some fronts. Every chance we get, we're going to open up fronts, we're going to hit them, and we're going to hit them hard and consistently. You get your ass back to this front, though. I don't want that one open. I might need more conscriptions at this point. I think we will. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5... and 1, 2. That should be enough for that. As for you, should we do some conscripting? I'm thinking yeah, we're doing some offense with you, so some lancers might be a good idea. There we go. We are bringing the heat, and it is a lot of heat. This is a massive, massive war. Again, Russia is getting absolutely chunked, but in response to that, I think Herat gave up. Yep. Suck it, Herat. Your ass is in deep water. I'm going to force you to fight with us, you son of a bitch. You dirty, dirty son of a bitch. Same with you, Macron. You son of a bitch. You're joining me too. I don't care. Get your ass in gear. I don't care. I'm going to frickin' enforce autonomy on you later for this war. It's your fault we're even doing this, you dirty, dirty dogs. You dirty, dirty dogs. But looky here. Look at this front. And we are forcing the front now. And because we have an opening here, we might actually start another front up here. Yeah, let's hit the front up here just to mess with them. It moves it around. It keeps them from getting any footing on me, and I refuse to let them get any footing on me. We're going to conscript again. I think we might actually hire one as well. Yeah, we're doing good. Our monetary side is doing good. I'm willing to bet Qing is going into major debt fighting me like this. Let's see what Qing is up to. No, they still got a little bit of gold reserves. They might start getting a little hesitant to fight me once we start pushing back on these fronts. And we are winning on these fronts despite Qing's intervention, which is good because Russia is sucking the big one. This is the biggest one of all, and the reason why is because they appear to be attacking Korea. I don't know why, but that's okay. We're going to hit everywhere we can. They're not going to bog us down. We're going to force them to move their fronts around. They're not going to get a chance to really bog us down. We're going to own them this way. We're going to be guerrilla warfare for as long as we can. We're not going to let Russia, capitulate anytime soon. Even if Russia does capitulate, I don't think they lose anything. As for me, I'm not going to lose anything because I'm going to force every single one of these guys out of their independence movement before Qing even asks me to. It's not going to happen on that front. So we are golden. Anybody else I can force into the war? Yeah, you're in the war now. Anybody else? How about Herat? No, I can't with Herat. Can't with Kandahar, can I? No, you're already in the war. Yeah, you're being conquered. Okay, how about Sind? Can I force you in? Yes, I can. You're joining the war too, buddy. Too bad for you. I don't care. Oh, I lost this invasion. That's not good. That's not good at all. Where the hell did those troops come from? They must have come from over here, but my God, they are losing people fast. And we are doing okay on the Western Front. We're probably not going to lose anything in this war. Maybe. We might lose Kandahar at this rate. Or Bukhara. Yeah, we might lose Bukhara if they force us into peace. And we are slowly being forced into peace, and that is very depressing. But I'm okay with losing Bukhara. It won't hurt the run. It'll mean I'll have to reconquer it later. But again, it's not going to hurt the run. I don't want to boost you up at all. Nobles can take the hit. And Kandahar should be down very shortly. Qing is not able to fight me on the Western Front anymore. Joseon, shoot. Yeah, Kandahar's going down. Good. That's what we need. I guess I could start boosting up my navy a little more. That's good. We got that going for us. We should probably have gone for General Staff. I might have actually won this war if I went for General Staff first. Unfortunately, Russia is no longer in the fight, but that's okay because now I don't think we're going to take any war score. Good. That means we're going to take Bukhara down, and once they're out of it, we can either play for the long haul and just destroy their economy, because I imagine by now they're getting destroyed monetarily. And they can't really, invade me by the sea because they only have 14 ships, plus the 2 from there, and I'm going to be able to match them navally very, very shortly. In fact, I know a way to make it even easier. Now, I guess Borneo could have one too, couldn't they? I'll wait until Gaza's done. Unfortunately, they lost, but that's okay. They will be able to repair, and even if they don't repair, Qing will just kill themselves and break themselves on me if they try to navally invade. And because I'm not bringing in Chitrao and Kunduz, at this point, it's going to be an even peace. I didn't really lose anything this war. I wish I would have gained something in this war. But again, the war score is going to tick down on me. That sucks, mostly because of casualties. I guess if I reduce the... no, it's minus 2.42. It's not going to happen. I could start invading for Beijing, something I probably should have done initially, but I think they had people there and they would have beaten me if I tried. Okay, so at this point, Spain is no longer in the fight. There's no point in keeping it going except to reduce their money. And I'm going to pretty much prolong this as long as possible. I'm going to force them into forcing the peace deal. Because, like I said, they're losing a hell of a lot of money. And what's going to happen is I'm not. In fact, I'm not losing that much money at all, even though all of my guys are currently active. They haven't got any fronts to really hit me on. We're going to swap out our... We already passed a law, didn't we? Yeah, that happened while we weren't paying... while I wasn't paying attention. Who can I bring in place of that? What kind of law do I want to push for? I would love to push for freedom of conscience. So badly. so very badly, but I don't think I can keep the liberal government in any longer. Okay, maybe I can. Maybe I can. Does it hurt my chances any? No, it doesn't, because only the liberals are capable of doing anything about it, and it's chancy, and it's going to cost me a lot, but I really would like to go to freedom of conscience, and nobody's going militant, so we're going freedom of conscience. I was thinking about going state atheism, but it doesn't look like I will get it, not with what we're running at. Hopefully my infamy goes down now that I'm unable to get Beijing. No, it's not happening. Nothing's happening. I lost this war. That's okay. It wasn't a huge loss. I didn't lose a single tributary. And yeah, it's going to hurt my relations with a lot of these countries. But again, once my infamy is under control, I can just deal with them after the fact. In fact, I should get my infamy under control. We're going to declare on Oman, Japan, Morocco. Now we're losing quite a bit there, so I'm going to reduce the taxes. It's going to hurt me monetarily, but that's okay because now we're not getting many radicals for free. Just going to sit here and wait. I know you're losing money. I know it's happening. I'm willing to bet money. Yeah, look at the loans. They got loans now. It's just preparation for the next war. After this truce is over, I'm going to go after him again. I'm going to have general staff. I'm probably still going to have Russia as an ally. And I will open up a second front when that happens with Kunduz and Chitrao. So they're not going to be able to win this one. I just need to boost up my army in the meantime. And that's going to be exactly what I do. We're going to get that navy up to snuff. We're going to get that army up to snuff. It's unfortunate that we lost this war, but that is what the price you pay when you do not save scum. If you did save scum, you could just reload from before you even started the war, and it's as if it didn't even happen.
He won't be a boy forever, and winter is coming.
There we go. January 1st. That is it, everybody. I'm going to cut it here. And the reason why is because I only have a full day to do all of the editing to get a video out for tomorrow. I like to do 3 days for a video and effectively a little crappy YouTube short every day. That's going to be my schedule until I either get sick of this, get tired, or I realize that I don't need to do that much to really get anywhere. I hope you enjoyed watching. I know I'm not doing spectacular, but I will eventually be doing spectacular once we get Steel Frame, and even better once we get Beijing. Once we get Beijing, we're going to be styling, profiling, and completely killing everything. It's going to be a good time. It's going to be another 50 years. Like I said, the way that I'm going to do it for the next video is I'm going to play the first 3 or 4 years for every decade, because the game is slowing down with the recording on to the point where I don't think it's feasible to do all 50 years. It would take me 20 hours just to do 50 years at that point, at the speed that it's going. Sorry if that's a problem. I hope it isn't. I think I got the editing down to a point where I think I could make it nice and cohesive, and I really hope this is entertaining for you guys. If it isn't, let me know, yell at me, scream at me. I don't care. I got the chops to handle it. Anyhow, guys, thank you very much for watching, and I am out. Always remember, Hail Hydra Cat.
Thank you for watching. Oh, I love you. I love you too. Oh, I love you so much I could just tickle your little belly. Make sure to like and subscribe.